Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. This short video is an introduction to how we can use Havening Touch to support a healthy pregnancy with a successful outcome. This movie is dedicated to a young friend of mine who's been through a lot of physical and emotional trauma, is now pregnant. She's had a previous pregnancy loss, so this pregnancy is very precious for her, and she's experiencing some medical health problems during this pregnancy. So this is dedicated to her in support of a healthy pregnancy and a successful outcome. So I want to explain first of all why Havening Touch might be helpful during pregnancy. Havening Touch is a remarkable new form of therapy based on the latest neuroscience that shows how we can very quickly put our brain into a different kind of state that supports healing and well-being. And the particular forms of touch that do this, I'm going to demonstrate to you, and you can apply the touch to yourself as you watch this video. And I'm going to explain to you why this works and how it can support a healthy pregnancy. So the three specific forms of touch are rubbing of the hands together like this. And I recommend you hold your hands upwards. If you hold your hands down, it can feel a bit more nervous. Hold your hand up. This is a kind of gesture of thankfulness and gratitude as well. And just find a nice kind of rhythm so it's kind of soothing, about once per second. So that's the first form of touch. The second form of touch is stroking the arms, always from the shoulder down to the elbows. It's always a downward stroke. And just find a nice relaxing rhythm to that, again about once per second. And if you think about this, this is really the empathetic touch, isn't it, when we're offering support to a friend or family member. So these are all intuitive forms of touch. And this is kind of like hugging yourself as well. And the third form of touch is stroking on the face. I'm just going to slip off my glasses. So stroking across the forehead and down the side of the face. Across the forehead, and then you can go under the eyes and down the cheeks. Or if you like, you can do like a full facial wash with your hands. Just whichever you find most calming. And some people like to go back a little bit into the hairline, and some people just like the bare skin. And just find your own rhythm and rate. So what I invite you to do now is to try these three forms of touch and to continue doing them for the rest of this video as you watch me. So it's the stroking on the hands, stroking on the arms, and stroking on the face. Now the reason I'm asking you to do this very particular form of touch is that we know from the neuroscience that this generates very high levels of a special kind of brain wave called a delta wave. Now a delta wave is a very low frequency brain wave. It's actually unusual for adults to have high levels of delta waves while they're awake, because this is the state that our brain is in during deep sleep, or sometimes called slow wave sleep. It's a very high amplitude of low frequency brain waves, and this is the state of the brain when it's in a state of replenishment, of healing, of refreshing the body. Every cell in the body gets refreshed. It's a state of enhanced learning. These are all the functions that occur during deep sleep that really maintain our health and well-being. In fact, even if you didn't do the touch to yourself and you just watch me doing it, you would still get an increase in levels of delta waves in your brain. So I invite you to continue doing this form of touch, and as you watch the rest of this video. And I also invite you to make this a daily practice during your pregnancy. So now I'd like to explain why specifically this might be helpful in pregnancy, and what are the kind of conditions or problems it might be helpful for. So first of all, just another little note about delta waves. I mentioned that it's unusual to be in this brain state as an adult awake, but it's quite different in small babies and small children. And at those early parts of the life when the brain is still developing, we actually have lots of delta waves in the brain. So babies and small children have lots of delta waves. And in utero, when your baby is growing inside you, that your baby has lots of delta waves. So when we produce this state in our mind and our body and our brains and our body, we're actually producing a state that's very supportive and comforting for a baby growing inside us. Because this is the natural brain state that they're in. And this is the brain state that supports really healthy brain development. So that's important. So the friend I mentioned that I dedicated this video to, she's been through a tremendous amount of just physical trauma and emotional trauma in the last 10 years or so. She's pregnant at the moment, and I really wanted to make a video to support her health and well-being during pregnancy. She has lost a previous pregnancy, so she's been a bit fearful about that, and that was a very distressing time. So this is really to help to support her and anyone else like yourself that really wants to have a healthy pregnancy and get through that and have a successful pregnancy outcome and a healthy baby. So the benefits of the delta waves, first of all, is just making your baby feel really calm and safe inside you in your uterus. When we're stressed, when we're feeling anxious, we generate a lot of hormones to do with stress and anxiety, and these actually cross over the placenta and they affect our baby and can affect our baby's brain development. And it's certainly the case that mothers who are very anxious and stressed during pregnancy will have a baby that's just not so settled. So if we can get ourselves into this very calm state of healing and replenishment and refreshment with this havening touch, then we're really getting our bodies in the optimal condition to support a growing baby, and we're completely dampening down and getting rid of all of the stress hormones and the hormones to do with anxiety, and we're just filling our bodies with the right kind of chemical messengers and nerve cells that affect every cell in our body and also affect a growing pregnancy. So we're creating an interior environment which is just optimal for our baby's healthy growing and development. So that's the first reason to do it. The second reason is, and this pertains to my young friend, is that she has had some very serious injuries to her pelvis and to her back, and these have been troublesome during the pregnancy. She's getting some back pain and some pelvic pain and some chronic nerve pain. And havening touch is shown to be extremely useful for managing chronic pain, because we're changing the whole state of our brain and we're really getting rid of all those stress hormones. And what I invite you to do is just close your eyes now and imagine as in this very relaxed state that you're in now with the havening touch, that you're just generating some healing golden light within you. If you like, you can imagine it outside you. You can breathe it in. This healing golden light, and just imagine this healing golden light going to any part of the body that has pain, and just allow it to bathe every cell in that part, in the bones, in the tendons, in the connective tissue, in the skin, in the muscles, just all the cells in the different parts where there might be some pain, and just send that healing golden light. And as you continue this, what you'll notice is that the pain starts to diminish, it gets easier, your whole body becomes more relaxed, the tension that you're holding in your body that makes the pain worse, that ebbs away, and you'll find that the pain begins to ease and get much easier. And if you can do this as a daily practice, you might find that over time that there's a remarkable improvement in the pain. And I've certainly seen some cases where chronic pain has disappeared through the use of havening touch. And then the third benefit is really just dealing with the ordinary symptoms of pregnancy, of a healthy pregnancy. Obviously a lot of mothers get morning sickness, a lot of nausea and sickness, and this can certainly help with this. So if you're just feeling nauseated, you can sit down quietly, you can watch this video, you can just begin to haven yourself, and again you can send some of that healing golden energy to your abdomen and your stomach, the parts that are just feeling not so comfortable, and that will help settle down the nausea. And then there are lots of other common symptoms of pregnancy. You can have bloating, you can have sore and tender breasts, you can have sudden food aversions or food cravings. I mean, there's just a lot of common things that are just troublesome. And you'll find that all these kind of symptoms can get just much more bearable and manageable if you just sit down for 5 or 10 minutes each day and do the havening touch and just get yourself into that really relaxed state, and that will really help diminish the symptoms for you. So I really recommend that you do this as a daily practice. You set aside a time each day. You'd spend 5 or 10 minutes doing this healing touch. You can magnify the effects of relaxation by putting on your favorite music, or maybe you have some oils or scents that you find very calming. Anything at all really that just helps you to be calm and relaxed and comfortable. Do this as a daily practice, and it's really going to help you in your pregnancy. It's going to help you manage some of the discomforts. If you have medical problems or pain, it's going to help with that. And it's going to be sending the most beautiful, healing, positive, loving, growing energy to your growing baby. I'm really helping you have a healthy pregnancy and have a baby that is just happy and settled in the early parts of life. So thank you so much for listening. It's been a real pleasure talking to you, and I hope everything goes well for you. Bye for now. Bye-bye.